Morning.
Bushnell presents Prairie Pursuit, brought to you by Bushnell Canada. Never miss. Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable. JB's Sausage Supply. Visit jbsausagesupply.com. North Pro Sports, performance archery and arms. Trail Runners K9 Training Center and Labrador Retriever Dogs and Puppies. Holt Lake Lodge Adventures.
There is nobody out here except us and the boat just dropped us off. We have a bow and arrow. That's about it.
Middle of nowhere.
Literally in the middle of nowhere. Ridiculous amount of bugs. I thought he was gonna come right through the bush.
Me too. He was running up the hill. I was ready to climb the tree myself.
Nice shot.
That's a big bear.
That happened fast.
We sat for half hour, not even 20 minutes.
Beauty. It's a good beer. It's a good beer. Good beer, Tom.
That was fast. There was no mistake in this bear when he came in.
Little piece of me was a little jealous. That was a stud of a bear that Calvin shot.
I thought he was gonna leave and I sent a missile at him just before he left and we got him. So we're pretty happy and we're gonna get this guy back to camp.
Well, just the size and the coats on these bears. I did a lot of bear guiding and this time of year, I love getting bears this time of year because they're getting ready for fall. Their coats are about as thick as they're gonna get. It was pretty amazing coat.
Well, after we shot him, he actually came right at us in the ground blind, and I don't know what happened. I think I maybe threw my bow and was scrambling a bit, and Greg stayed on him with the camera, and he went no more than 20 yards, and he expired.
So in 3 days, these guys had 2 world-class bears on the ground that, again, I was envious of. And to be honest with you, I even thought about hanging up the fishing rod and going after bears for the last few nights.
I'm sure glad you guys chose us.
Right on.
Thanks
a lot. That is a good shot.
Well, 2020 mule deer is in the books here. We had this deer, kind of watching him a little bit for a week or two here. Put a stalk on him a week ago and they managed to slip us and get away. And today, not so much. We kind of seen him up on the hill there and toured around, got around the other side and climbed up the hill to about 150 yards. And here she be. She's all done, and that's it for the season.
Nice deer, buddy.
Yeah, couldn't be happier. Well, somebody must have taken a shot here. We got a broadhead stuck in them.
Yeah. Stuck in his neck. That's crazy.
You fish. Make sure the toes are clear. And take your finger out of your glove.
I just got my first pronghorn antelope buck. It was so much fun. It did take a little bit to get him. We had to do lots of scouting, 2 full days worth. And on top of that, we were doing a little bit of practice shooting yesterday and our gun ended up getting jammed. And so we ended up switching to a different gun. We're really thankful that Calvin Coleman, which is the co-host of the show, was able to give us another gun. So it was my first time shooting this gun today. So that's always a little bit technical to get used to a brand new gun, but it was so much fun and we were able to make it work, and I ended up getting this buck, which I'm so happy about.
There's one moving on the right.
Yeah, he's walking, right?
Coming right.
I'm on him.
Alright, here we go.
You drilled him.
Did I?
Nice shot.
Did it really?
Yeah. That's a poke.
Let's get our hands on this buck. There we go. Nice, nice. Well, originally Calvin and I looked at him and thought he was a 4x4, but he's actually got some decent brow tines for a muley. Pretty thick buck, you know. Definitely over 6 inches around at the bases. It's got some of this gnarly stuff. Here are my hands. My hands don't fit around, and I got pretty good sized hands. So we'll call this the blizzard buck because these conditions have been super tough, and really excited to be able to harvest a buck like this in these conditions. I only own one rifle. It's a 270, and it's my favorite cartridge out there. I've harvested everything moose, elk, mule deer, and a big believer in the 270, and shooting 150 grain Hornady Super Performance bullet. Shot this deer at 370 yards. Northwest wind, probably 60K, and I was able to drop this buck in its tracks. So the old 270, she's still the original and probably one of the best long-range shooting rifles out there. Great for prairie environment, and great for Saskatchewan hunts. Tickled, absolutely tickled with this buck. We got some work dragging it out of this pasture, but yeah, I'm super excited.
Does he look good like this? This is the most extremely difficult hunt I've ever been on. We've had extreme conditions out here. Lots of snow. It was minus 20 this morning when we woke up, and I actually had to pull out snowshoes because the snow was so deep. It's up to my waist in some places. So it definitely challenged me to my full physical extent. And I wasn't sure that we were gonna be able to get this guy, but then we finally got another shot on him, and I was able to take him down. So this is a great mule deer buck. I'm so happy. It's been great. There's little stickers out the side.
Get ready. He's gonna come. What if you're ready?
Again. Oh, yes!
Went the way I wanted it to. The adrenaline dumped after, I guess.
I think he's getting bigger as we get up there.
Oh, yeah. He turned out to be a beautiful buck, a beautiful animal. It all worked out exactly as I had hoped. So yeah, it gets me excited to the thought of doing it again.
I spotted a big bull just on the edge of the valley. I didn't know it was a valley at the time. I just saw this big bull on the edge of a tree line. So I'm just gonna gear down and go see if I can find this guy. By the time I got geared up and went in there, I didn't realize he was standing right on the edge of our valley, and that's where he had gone in. It was about an hour before dark, so I sat and called. He didn't come out. Game plan, next morning, back at the same spot. On this night, when I set up, I was expecting about a 400-yard shot. So I had everything ranged. I had my backpack set up. I had my tripod set up. It wasn't long, and I saw paddles in the trees. And when I saw those paddles, I knew that was the same bull from the night before. It's just a unique shape to them, and just the sheer size. And I bend down to pick up my rifle, and when I come back, he's gone. By mid-morning, I called Greg and just said, you know what, I need somebody to run the camera for me. This is 2 days in a row, or 2 hunts in a row that this bull has given me the slip. I don't think he's gonna last here. He's not gonna hang around forever, obviously. And, if I know he's here, there's another hunter that probably knows he's here, and I wanted to get him, obviously, before somebody else did. So Greg agreed to come out and run the camera for me. There was a cow standing in the field. About 300 yards away, just on the edge of the trees, there's a cow. I figure if the cow is close, then he's probably close. That's probably the same cow that I seen in the morning. And now my heart's going. It's 15 minutes before dark. That cow moose is standing in the field. She's looking at us and we're looking at her. You can see she's getting nervous. She's looking back into the bush. So there's something going on. I'm assuming it's him. And at one point she decides to start trotting across the field, and just as she starts to leave, we hear the grunt in the bush. I knew right there, as soon as that bull grunted, that was him. And within a matter of minutes, he steps out. You can see these paddles. That's right. Now their heart's racing, but we're running out of daylight. There's 15 minutes left of shooting light. It's overcast, it's a dark night.
Are you on him? All I see is the head. Let me take a headshot. There. He's gonna go down. Get him. Oh, he's down. He's down, buddy.
It was a pretty cool experience. like the size of the rack, but the size of the body. Like this thing is just massive. Like the shoulders on this thing. Yeah. This is the one we were after, and this is the one we got. 25 scoreable points. Well, can't be disappointed with that. Fish on. I love fishing lake trout. But we didn't have the opportunity to catch a whole lot of lake trout around Regina. So to come up here with the opportunity to catch a lake trout, that was our primary focus.
There we go. No worse for the wear.
You know, fishing lake trout, they're down at the bottom. You know, they're a deep water fish. We were fishing water, 110 feet of water, and just with conventional crankbaits or spoons, you're not getting down that far. So we primarily used pink ladies, three-way swivel rigs, and also jigs. We did a lot of jigging. That's probably my favorite way to catch a lake trout, and it's easy to get down to the bottom, but you need substantial jigs. We were using bare minimum 2-ounce jigs.
Turn. Just see him now. Good shot. Yeah. Okay. Come on, you're ready.
Once it was time to take the shot, she didn't hesitate.
Smoked him. Perfect shot. Perfect shot, Grace. Perfect shot.
Wow, Gracie. Wow. You got yourself a gorgeous deer. Gorgeous buck, velvet buck. Wow, he is beautiful.
After taking some pictures and video, Dad cut the meat out of the deer and we loaded the hide and the head into a backpack, and I got to carry the deer out on my back to the truck. My dad got the shoulder mount done up for me by Don Wolf, and now it's on the wall in my room, so this will be a great memory of the hunt for me forever.
20. 25.
This hunt was a hunt I'll never forget. It was a chance for me to go hunting with my dad and try and get something that he had never done before, and obviously I had never done before. And to have a chance at one like that and to recover it for me for once was pretty cool. And to have that meat and the antlers to remember forever.
So this hunt was absolutely incredible. I'm so proud of Jacob for the work that he did from start to finish. The shot that he made, the excitement, to see the excitement that he had when he took a shot and when he got the elk. It was just an incredible, unforgettable experience. Dad gets set up. He takes 2 seconds to make the decision that that's the buck that he wants to fill his tag on. Puts the crosshairs on his buck. I got the camera on, and Dad squeezes the trigger. That deer goes maybe 10 or 15 yards, tips over.
Hit!
Look at the day we're having. Oh, amazing. When he got his hands on that buck, he was pumped. Holy. All right, I did not picture this day like this.
A nice little melee. Wealthy sucker. This is my Savage Model 11 that I just love. Seems every time I pull the trigger on that thing, something dies. Yeah, it's just amazing.
Watch this.
If you've got a shot, you take it. Even if he's laying down. Yeah. Put it right halfway in his body there.
Oh, there's so many ticks crawling on him.
Is there ticks?
Oh, they're everywhere. It was a perfect shot.
There you go, buddy. All right, that's it, Dad. Buck down right here. I didn't have the camera, so I couldn't set it up. I really wanted to get this this deer on film. We are done. It was a bit of a gift, I will say, walking into a bush and scaring the animals out and then having one come right towards you. That's the way that it worked out. I walked in here, it's exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to put the miles on my legs, as tough as it is, get into areas where nobody's been, because everybody's driving the roads. You can't even hardly drive the roads. You can't get anywhere. And this guy popped up and came right through. He is not a giant buck by any means, but he is super cool. Everything that I saw on him, I loved. I had a shot him.
Thanks, Dad.
Hey. One shot, Hornady ammunition, Bushnell optics, Savage Arms. Got the job done. Bushnell presents Prairie Pursuit, brought to you by Bushnell Canada. Never miss. Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable. JB's Sausage Supply. Visit jbsausagesupply.com. North Pro Sports, performance archery and arms. Trail Runners K9 Training Center and Labrador Retriever Dogs and Puppies. Holt Lake Lodge Adventures.